Here we are with another monthly portfolio update. In this video, I'm going to show you how this investment portfolio has performed over the past month, show you some of the winners, the losers, and how much dividend income this has earned as well. So if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I try to share an update every single month of this portfolio just to give you clear, real insight into what it's actually like to invest in the stock market. Just try to show you real numbers, be completely transparent, and hopefully inspire you to start your own investing journey if you haven't already. So with that said, let's get into it. Right now, the current value of this portfolio is about $52,550. Over the past month, we are actually in the green. So the portfolio gained about $1,600 or about 3.2%. So nothing really noticeable happened over the past 30 days, but some of the biggest winners are from the technology sector. So here in M1 Finance, they let you categorize your individual holdings into sort of these different categories. So for example, all of my technology holdings, I just like to group it in this category called tech. And as a whole, it was up about 9%. And that's pretty significant because tech is my highest weighted category. And because of that, what happens in tech really does affect the overall portfolio to a greater degree. But just checking in here, we had Broadcom. They had a very, very good month, up 15%. Apple up a little bit, but pretty much broke even. Then we have Microsoft. They performed the best here, up about 28%. Then we had Tesla, and they were actually down over 18%, but I don't hold too much of that here, so it really didn't have that much of an impact. And it's good to see technology have a good month. I feel like over the past few months, they've been going down a little bit. We also did have finance. They were up about 5.5%, and leading that charge was pretty much BlackRock. They were up about 12%. Then you had JP Morgan 5% and Aflac, my highest weighted company in this particular category, but they were up about 2.5%. And then honestly, most other areas here were kind of in that 2 to 4% range. So like I said earlier, nothing really significant happened over the past 30 days, but our biggest loser was healthcare. They were down about 3.5%. And we can see Eli Lilly, they were down 4%. Johnson & Johnson, 3%, AbbVie, pretty much 3%, and then Procter & Gamble, about 4% there. And it seems like technology and healthcare, for whatever reason, tend to move in opposite directions. So one month, maybe technology will do good, healthcare, not so good, and vice versa. And for me personally, that's just investment strategy. I really try to have a big mix of diversification in this portfolio. I'm not trying to put all my eggs into one or two baskets. I'm really trying to invest in stuff that doesn't move alike, because if you put all your eggs into one or two baskets, you're really holding a lot of unnecessary risk. Now with investing, there's always going to be some sort of risk involved, but if you go a level deeper, you have systematic risk, and these are things that really affect the entire economy, and that's risk that every single investor is going to take on no matter what. And then you have unsystematic risk, and this is risk that's really tied to a single company or perhaps a single sector. And a lot of that unsystematic risk can be mitigated by just diversifying your portfolio, investing in companies that don't move alike. That is the biggest way to reduce that type of risk. But with that said, let's take a look at the dividends and see what we actually got paid out this month. All right, to kick off the month, we got $4.31 from Coca-Cola. And Coca-Cola is pretty much the poster child for a dividend paying company. I believe they've been increasing their dividend for over 50 years now. The stock price itself generally doesn't move very much, so you most likely won't see massive gains or declines, just slow, steady growth and constant dividends. Then you have Nike. They paid out $1.06. Following that is an ETF from Vanguard. This is VTI, and this pretty much follows the entire stock market. A lot of your lower cap, mid cap, and high cap companies. And quite frankly, this is one of my favorite ETFs ever, just because of all the diversification that it offers. But they paid $16.27. Genuine Parts Company, they paid out $8.55. Then you have Vici Properties. This is a real estate company. They own a lot of property in Vegas. but they paid $10.96. Then we have a monthly paying company. This is Realty Income Corp. They paid $6.45. Following that is Stag Industrial. This is another real estate company focused on more industrial type properties, but they paid $8.37. Next is DTE Energy, based out of Detroit, Michigan. They paid $3.33. Then we have SPHD. This is a monthly paying ETF, and they paid $10.81. After that, we have the Food Distribution Company. This is Sysco Corporation, $4.75 from them. Then we have JP Morgan, one of the world's largest banks, $8.33. And that is actually all of the dividends that we got paid in July. So when we add all that up, the total payout comes to $83.19. So a pretty good start to the quarter. If we look this time last year, we were at about $70. So a nice little increase there. And that increase honestly just comes from mostly compounding, just taking the dividend payouts, investing it back into the portfolio, but also those companies increasing their dividends year after year. So I'm pretty happy with how everything is trending so far. I'm not really worried about any macroeconomic factors. For me, I'm young enough where my time horizon is a little bit longer. So I'm just going to keep investing and we'll see where it goes. That's going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for taking the time to check it out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Until next time, take care.